One thing that I've come across when I've been studying Russian diction are the terms Akanye, Ekanye, and Ikanye. And I think to know how to pronounce things, we really need to understand these concepts, right? So could you talk us through these?
This has to do with the history of Russian pronunciation, because all of these words mean how people used to pronounce vowels in certain positions.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, from the 17th to the 19th century, the common norm was built, which we are using now. So if we go from Akanye, Okanye, it has to do with the pronunciation of the written O in unstressed positions.
Okay.
Nowadays, if we see a written O, but it is not stressed, we pronounce it as an A. Well, it depends. I mean, nowadays in ordinary speech, we reduce it almost to schwa. So if I say the word milk, молоко, I say almost молоко. If I sing it, I would rather do молоко. And it has to do with the absolute length of the vowels in milliseconds. The closer the length of the vowel in singing is to this length of the vowel in speech, the closer to the full realization it is. So if the note is really short, you might go for the cup vowel, or you could almost do it as schwa in a recit.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's cantilena, you just forget about that and you do ah. So this is Akanye. Just one thing to mention about Okanye is that if you go for Boris Godunov, Khovanshina, and other operas which has to do with Russian historical pronunciation or with church pronunciation, in Godunov we have both. We have some monks, and with them you can go for moya and other things, so you might give a little bit of color of O in unstressed position. But this is the color, and it has to do with the social and historical characteristics of this concrete person you're singing.
So those are very specific examples. So in general, we really want to use this Akanye, but sometimes we
Absolutely.
have to use the O, and that's called Okanye?
Yes, absolutely. This is Okanye. So you see O, it is unstressed, and you realize it as O.
So basically, whatever the start of this word is what we're reducing to. So if we say Akanye, things are going to reduce to A.
Yes. And
And
if
we
it's
have
Okanye, it stays with O, more
exactly,
or less.
exactly. So we have some examples of Akanye.
Yeah, with the word хорошо, good, you see the three written O's, and the final one is stressed, so it is O, and the other ones are realized as A. If we were speaking Russian, I would say, здесь хорошо, хорошо. The first one is like schwa. If I'm on stage, I would say, здесь хорошо. So it would rather be a cup one.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm singing, it's really high, it's a situation with high motion. And also the tessitura is really high.
Yeah.
So I go, здесь хорошо. So it's O. It's really full 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 O. And what becomes really important here in this context, the phrase stress. In singing in Russian, you should be really careful about building the shape of the phrase. Because you see, you don't have that much opposition of vowels, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have just vowels, full vowels, all the time. Ah, or e. So the stressed vowel in the phrase, not in the word. In Russian, we always have a syntagm, which is like phonetic word from the beginning of the breath up to until the next breath, or some caesura, it all has to do with the meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Wisniewska really stresses the strong thing. She gives more effort there. And all the other ones are softer in terms of energy. So the phrase which you are singing is kind of a mirror of what you would say in ordinary speech in terms of making the important things really stress.
It's all about the entire phrase and not single words.
Yes.
Yeah.